Let me take you back. The year was 2016. White people music was at its peak, haircuts looked like this, and Zack Snyder's new DC Extended Universe was only on its second project. After a somewhat divisive but still successful first movie, Batman v Superman was almost immediately announced. And I don't know why. In my opinion, making the second movie in your universe a versus movie with a character we've only seen in one movie so far, and another character we haven't seen at all, it's a little bit weird. Like, usually you build up to that sort of thing over time. But that doesn't matter. This is coming from the genius, the masterful film director Zack Snyder. This guy, he knows these characters. He knows what to do. He made the amazing films 300 and Watchmen. Of course he can handle such a big project like this, right? No. Everyone with a brain knows that this movie was not a success. They know that the Snyderverse in general was not a well-done cinematic universe. But keep in mind, I said everyone with a brain. And nowadays, that is not a very common thing to find. I found out the hard way there's still a whole lot of Zack Snyder defenders when I made a video about DC.
You fell asleep during Batman vs Superman because DC movies are targeted towards adult males, not children or family like Marvel movies.
Little tiny persons don't stay still for movies unless it's loud, obnoxious, humorous and filled with flashy effects and bright colors. Again, like Marvel movies. A kid version of you would have enjoyed the Minecraft movie because that's what it was targeted for.
Like, geez, man, you did not have to write all that. I got way too many comments that were just way too excited to defend Batman v Superman. But to be fair, that one guy was right. I did say in that video that I watched that movie when I was a child, 10 years ago, and I fell asleep. So maybe I need to give it a rewatch, and actually find out if I still think this movie is complete dog shit.
3 hours later.
And, after watching it, I do. I really, really do. And the only free option is the extended version, which is 3 hours long, so we're already off to a pretty bad start. This movie opens with Ben Affleck's Batman running into Metropolis, the crumbling city, during the Man of Steel ending while Superman fucking destroys everything. And I actually almost like this scene. Except, the dude Bruce Wayne is freaking out about is, like, a guy. Just some random employee named Jack. Like, I don't think we needed this random made-up movie character to convince Batman to run into the crumbling city. I think it would have been a lot cooler and made a lot more sense if he just ran in there to, like, help people. And I will say, I actually think Ben Affleck and Henry Cavill are both great castings for these characters. Especially Ben Affleck. Like, he is a perfect older Batman and Bruce Wayne. And you can tell that even though this movie sucks ass, he is just trying his hardest to make it work. He is doing his best with the material he was given. But that doesn't matter. If you thought Batman helping people was nice, do not get used to it, because now we have to go watch Lois Lane do some really boring journalism shit. She's in Africa interviewing some terrorist guys and asking some like really dumb questions.
Are you a terrorist, General?
They did not tell me the interview was with a lady.
I'm not a lady, I'm a journalist.
And while she's there, everything gets completely messed up when they discover that the photographer she brought is actually an undercover secret spy named
Jimmy Olsen, photographer.
Yes, I'm being serious. Jimmy Olsen in this movie is an undercover government agent who used Lois Lane to spy on a terrorist group. This might be the stupidest thing in any movie I've ever seen. And it's only made more stupid by the fact that they killed this guy literally right after they revealed this. Like, what was the point of even making this guy Jimmy Olsen? That is just fucked up, I swear. This scene is really boring, and it only exists to show us that this group is, like, trying to fool the military by making it look like Superman went there and killed a bunch of people. And then they pay this lady to lie for them and say that Superman killed a bunch of people. But the weird thing is that while they're doing all of this, Superman kills a guy. And, like, he kills the fuck out of this guy. So, I guess they weren't really lying that much if you think about it. Superman is a pretty violent maniac. And I'm not even someone who's like super opposed to Superman killing. I just think he should only do it when it's necessary. In my opinion, Superman did not have to kill this guy. And him not killing him would have probably made him look a lot better. Because yeah, if I was the government, I would think you're up to some shit too. It's not like you have a good reputation with this world. You're like the worst superhero ever. You let the entire city get destroyed last movie. Also, I'm sorry, but why is Metropolis like completely fine now? That shit was turned to dust in Man of Steel. And even when it's not, like, destroyed, it's such a boring setting. Like, especially when we're in buildings like the Daily Planet or Clark's apartment. It's just so damp and gray. I understand why all the Batman stuff would look like this, but Metropolis should feel different. It shouldn't feel the exact same way that Gotham City does. I literally can't tell the difference between these two cities. The only time I know we're in Gotham is when Batman starts killing the fuck out of people, because that's the only time he's doing it. And none of this is helped by the fact that Clark and Lois just have zero chemistry. Like, actually none. They kind of seem like they hate each other, really. They're always just like... They just don't show any emotion on their faces when they look at each other. Neither of them do, really. The actors aren't conveying love or even the slightest bit of happiness in any of these scenes. And whenever they're all like kissy and loving, it's just so uncomfortable. It's actually impressive that they made a scene where Henry Cavill takes off a shirt and it's absolutely disgusting. Like, this scene is awful. It feels gross. And even worse is the fact that right after this we meet the most universally agreed upon bad thing in this movie. Lex Luthor. Even people who love this movie say that Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor was a horrendous miscasting. Probably one of the biggest miscastings in any comic book movie. And yeah, I would probably say it held the title for the worst one until pretty recently. But the thing that sucks about this is not the fact that Jesse Eisenberg just shouldn't play Lex Luthor. It's the fact that they didn't even try to make him like an interesting character. They just made him regular-ass Jesse Eisenberg. But he doesn't have the social anxiety, so he's just always saying stuff. The weirdest stuff all the time. And he makes these weird little rabbit noises, and I hate them. This is literally his introduction scene. Like, what the fuck was the plan here? Did Zack Snyder really think that people would sit here and watch this movie and genuinely, like, see Lex Luthor as a threatening or imposing character in any way? Because to me, he just seems like a little bitch the entire time. He's always saying these really r/I'm 14 and this is deep type lines. And honestly, most of these characters do this. Like, everyone just talks in this very weird, philosophical, biblical way. And if that sounded like a good thing, it's not. It ends up sounding like Zack Snyder just thinks he's really smart. Or like he thinks this movie is really smart. The only thing about the Lex Luthor character that I actually do kind of like is that he's always talking about his dad. Like, I like that. I like a Lex Luthor with some daddy issues. But also, I like when they, you know, do something with that, build upon that, do more with his character. But hey, you know, I'm not the genius filmmaker Zack Snyder, so I don't know why I'm even criticizing his ability to write characters. Also, we find out that Batman's been branding criminals with a cattle iron, so that way when they get sent to prison, they can get shanked. And, I hate this. I don't think I should have to explain why I hate this. It's just so... I already hate Batman killing people, but, ignoring my personal feelings about how Batman should act related to his comic book, blah, 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 blah. This is just, it doesn't work in this movie because they use this cattle iron branding thing to make Superman mad at Batman and make Superman feel distrustful for Batman. But why would Superman care that Batman kills people when you fucking decimated this guy earlier? Like, there's this scene where he's talking to the wife of a dude that got killed in prison because of Batman's cattle iron, and she's like, oh, he was a father. He may have been a human trafficker, but he was a father. And Superman's like, yeah, that's a great point. And it's like, dude, that guy earlier, you fucking smashed him into little bits because he was holding your girlfriend at gunpoint. He was probably a better person than the human trafficker. And I don't understand why either of these characters would be mad at each other for killing when both of them kill a shit ton of people. Especially Batman. Batman has no right to feel any type of way about Superman being dangerous. You are the most dangerous person in this whole city, my guy. Look, you tore these people apart. What? That guy might have had a family. That guy, why are you killing so many people? Oh, but they get to, the Batmobile does a drift around Superman, and they stare each other down, and then they get on top of the Batmobile and they look at each other. It's freaking badass, man. And then they just repeat more boring fucking I'm 14 and this is deep lines.
Next time they shine your light in the sky, don't go to it. The bat is dead. Bury it.
Dear Blade.
Okay, back to Lex Luthor. His story is so lame. Like, he staged that massacre earlier so he can put blame on Superman and make him seem like a violent person. But, you know, I don't really care because Superman is a violent person who's crazy and evil. Yeah, and I actually really don't hate this Lex Luthor subplot up until this point. In most stories, him making it look like Superman killed a bunch of people to make the public distrust him would work. That's a very classic Lex Luthor type of thing. I'm into that kind of stuff. It's the very normal, normie, basic, Lex Luthor stuff. But that's not really the reason why he does that in this movie. Mainly because the public already doesn't trust Superman because, he sucks. He's the worst superhero ever. But he is trying to make Batman mad at Superman so that they fight each other. And I really don't understand why. I don't know if the movie ever really explains why he's doing this. He wants Superman dead, but why does Batman have to be the one to do it? Because, as we'll see later, he already is planning on another thing to kill Superman, so why? I think he wants Batman and Superman to be dead, but I feel like you could have done this very easily. You did not have to go through all this nonsense. And another part of his plan is that he's trying to get more kryptonite from this congresswoman who's played by Mrs. Incredible. And by the way, I hate her in this movie. She just always says the weirdest, the most stupid bullshit imaginable.
A bucket of piss and call it Granny's peach tea. You won't full a fly on me.
I hate the Granny Peach Tea thing. Like, so much. I really want to know what Zack Snyder was thinking when he did this. Like, what was in his deranged little mind when he thought that this was a genius idea? Like, is that supposed to be real piss? How did he get a jar of piss there? You see, this guy in the wheelchair lost his legs during the Man of Steel fight, and now he's all angry and stuff, and he's in front of Congress to talk shit about Superman, and Lex put a bomb in his wheelchair to kill everyone. And Superman's right there, and he just, lets everybody die. And I'm not even mad about the fact that he didn't see the bomb beforehand, because, that makes sense. The lead line or whatever, then, Superman can't see through everything. What doesn't make sense is the fact that Superman is still very fast. Right when the bomb went off, he could have saved, like, I don't know, a couple people, but he just stands there, and everybody dies, and he's just still standing there, just making that fade. But the worst part about this whole thing is that Superman just flies away. He leaves. He doesn't save. He saves one person, and then he just leaves. And I'm sorry, but Superman would never do this. Superman, no matter who in the area hates him, no matter how many people don't want him there, Superman is not just gonna leave while people are dying. Superman would never do that. And this scene single-handedly proves to me that Zack Snyder is not a Superman fan like he says he is. He completely does not understand Superman or anything about Superman. I hate this. Hate everything about this movie so far. But it's okay because when he flies away, there's like super fast lines. There's like you can see how fast he went off because there's lines in the back. And then right after that, it cuts to Alfred chopping wood. This is what that guy meant. What that guy meant when he said it's a man's movie. This is a man's movie because you can see Alfred chopping wood like a man. Men who love to see Superman or a farm all covered in flames fly away super fast and while Batman's butler's chopping wood. The worst part about this movie is how I'll be painfully bored, like suffering, and I'll check how long is left and I'll see that I'm only halfway through the movie. Nothing in this movie justifies the 3-hour runtime. This whole movie has nothing valuable in it. Like, I hate watching Superman and Lois talk. Superman is just saying super edgy lines while Lois makes the same face the entire movie. Oh, and it's finally time to see what the fuck Lex has been planning. He's using the Kryptonian ship to learn how to, use his blood to bring Zod back as Doomsday. And, I don't know, man. This is just nothing about this is right. Nothing about this is okay to me. So far, this entire movie just seems like a guy who vaguely knew some stuff about Superman, but he thought it was really lame and gay, and then he read The Dark Knight Returns and he thought it was the coolest fucking comic book ever. And then, that was his whole thing now. That's the only Batman comic he read, and that's the only version of Superman he likes. So, that's just what he's going to do in this movie. That's what he's going to do in Man of Steel. And that's why this universe failed, is because Zack Snyder read one comic book, a shitty comic book, mind you. Yeah, I said it. I'm tired of The Dark Knight Returns praise. It is a boring comic, and Frank Miller sucks asshole at writing. And once we get to this point in the movie, it's like really hard to keep track of everything going on, because this movie is just such a fucking mess. I really think it would have been better if it was only a Batman movie and not also a Superman movie, because I hate that they did this. Why is Batman v Superman the second movie in the universe? You needed to give Batman his own movie beforehand. And it just sucks because Ben Affleck was such an amazing casting for Batman, and I really think with a director that actually understood Batman, he could have had a good movie. But Zack Snyder just really didn't like that Batman can't kill people. He thinks it's badass to kill people. He thinks it's awesome. And I don't think people understand exactly why Batman doesn't kill. Because they'll always say stuff like, oh, well, if Batman would just kill the Joker, then he would save more people. And yeah, you're totally right. Batman's refusal to kill people is ending up killing more people. Because the Joker kills more people. You're right, yeah. But that's part of him being a fucking maniac. Like, he cannot physically kill people because of how insane his moral code is and how strict he is to it. That is the point. It is a bad thing that he doesn't kill sometimes, but people don't understand that. And I don't even think he would dream about killing people, especially with fucking guns. With guns? That's like one of the biggest parts of getting Batman right, is that he doesn't kill people with guns. And also, this is not just a dream sequence. The Snyder Cut of the Justice League validates this scene as canon. Superman turns evil and he does all this nonsense, and Batman kills people with guns. And then fucking Ezra Miller's Flash shows up from the future to tell Batman about Lois Lane or something. But who cares, because this universe is over. The Justice League sequel never came out. I'm glad it never came out, because I'm glad this movie's over, because all this fucking sucks so bad. Also, if Batman is so murderous and evil in this world, why is the Joker still alive? He killed Robin in this universe, but he's still just okay. All these random dudes, you're given the worst possible treatment you could have given them. But Joker is just living his life with Harley Quinn. After Batman Superman, the workout, we get like a trailer for Wonder Woman. I'm being serious. It's almost as aggressive as them putting Back to the Future 3 trailer at the end of the second one. Except those movies were actually good. And while he's working out and preparing to fucking kill Superman with a spear, Lex Luthor is kidnapping Superman's mom for some reason, and the conversation Clark and Lex have on the roof after this is just so bad. Like, I can't even... It's so... Maybe cringe isn't the word. It's just... I had to skip it the third time I watched this movie. Yes, I watched it 3 times for this video. I hate myself just a little bit. I hate the way Lex is talking, and I hate the way Superman is reacting. This is why I called him a boring Homelander. Just look at this scene. Look how he talks to Lois.
Or he has to die. No one stays good in this world.
Oh my god. But basically we find out that the reason why Lex kidnapped Superman's mom is so that way he could have blackmail, so Superman goes and kills Batman. And yeah. None of this makes any sense to me. Do what you want, Lex, with this complicated ass plan. Also, why didn't Superman just tell Batman what was going on? I understand that he tried, but you just kind of ended up letting Batman beat you up. You could maybe told Alfred, had Alfred tell him, like, done anything, man. It's just such a stupid bullshit reason to make them fight, because then, that's the name of the movie, you gotta fight, and, speaking of it, that's, it's time for that to happen. This fight is just so lame. Like, they're just slamming into each other. They're just slowly walking up and punching each other, and they're saying stuff in really deep voices. Like, it's just so bad. And also, Wonder Woman is just, like, here, too. Wonder Woman's just been here. I don't know why. She's just looking at videos of the other Justice League members so they can set up future movies. And I think this is a good time to say this, but the CGI in this movie fucking sucks. Like, I know this is a decade old, but in my opinion, the 2016 CGI was perfectly fine in the majority of movies. But who cares? Batman and Superman are fighting, and that's the name of the movie. And it's such a long fight because it's the name of the movie. But as I've said, the fight scene fucking sucks. So after you're done watching that long ass scene, Batman is finally done. He has Superman on the floor. He's got the spear to his heart. And Superman says this.
You're letting him kill Martha.
And Batman is so shocked that this guy just said his mom's name that he completely stops cold turkey, no more killing Superman, because now he sees that he's just like him. And this is the dumbest thing ever. This is fucking stupid. Don't let people that defend this movie tell you that Batman didn't just stop doing it just because the Martha thing. That is the reason why. People will say it's not, but that's the exact reason why he stops. Something only a 10-year-old could think makes sense, really. They literally explicitly show you, like, that the Martha thing is significant by having fucking Negan saying the name. And now all of a sudden they're friends. They're best pals. Like, Batman doesn't care anymore. Acting like he wasn't about to fucking execute him with a spear 2 seconds ago. And defenders of this movie will say, "Oh, Batman, he changes in this scene. This is Batman's turnaround. He learns that killing is bad. He learns that he shouldn't have been killing people this whole time." And to that I say, you are fucking stupid, because right after this, he does the warehouse scene, and he kills a shit ton of people. And yeah, I will admit, this is the best Batman fight scene in any movie. It's fucking awesome. And it's the only time in this whole movie where I feel alive watching this. But, you know, it doesn't take away from the fact that Zack Snyder is explicitly showing us that Batman is still killing people. Like, you had to, like, put the blood there so we know these guys are dead as fuck, like that. Okay. You know, but this is really cool, you know, so I can just get distracted. I can just pretend he's not killing these people. Oh, he just shot that guy with a gun and blew him up. Okay. Again, this is ripped directly from The Dark Knight Returns.
I'm a friend of your son's.
Oh, are you, Batman? Are you a friend of her son's, Batman? What were you doing 30 minutes ago? And oh my god, the CGI in this movie is so bad. Why does Doomsday look like that? He looks awful. This looks like the 2008 Hulk movie. Well, and then yeah, now Batman and Superman team up to fight Doomsday, and for some reason Wonder Woman is still here. And then Batman finds out that the only way to kill Doomsday is with the spear he made to murder Superman. And then so Superman takes the spear and he flies into Doomsday, and both of them die. And if I'm being honest, out of every dumb thing that was done in this movie, killing Superman was by far the stupidest one. Like, I just don't... Why would you kill Superman in the second movie in the universe? There hasn't even been a Justice League movie yet. Him and Batman have been friends for 10 minutes. Him and Wonder Woman fucking maybe had a line in exchange, but now he's just fucking dead. He's dead, and Batman and Wonder Woman are just pretending to care because they literally do not know him. And I would almost feel sad during Superman's funeral if I didn't already know that this leads to nothing. Literally nothing special. Like, the dirt flying up on the casket, it's hype, I guess, but I don't care, because 10 years later I know that Justice League sucked ass. Wonder Woman is okay, but everything after this was complete dog shit, including Zack Snyder's Justice League. And you know, this movie really was the start of the end for the DCEU, and it ended really hard, to the point where they rebooted the universe last year. And just let me say thank God for that, because Superman 2025 is the best interpretation of that character that has been put to the big screen. Like, it was just... I watched that movie just to cleanse my palate, and it really feels like dunking your head in fresh water after a long day. Overall, Batman v Superman is just an absolute failure of a movie. It fucking killed this universe along with Superman. But aside from whatever they did wrong with Batman or Superman's characters from a comic book fan standpoint, you can't deny this movie just completely fucking sucks ass. It's an absolute mess. It's way convoluted. There's just way too much stuff going on. The dialogue is god-awful. The CGI is whack. There's no chemistry between any characters at all. The villain sucks. There's not even a good side character. There's a pretty good fight scene, and there's maybe some vague concepts that I'm okay with. So overall, I think I'm gonna have to give this movie a 2 out of 10. A 2 out of 10, because I was gonna give it a 3 out of 10, but the more I really think about it, I can't think of anything I could say to justify giving it there's nothing that could justify a 3. a 2 out of 10 is even stretching it, really. This movie's a low 2. It's very close to a 1. It's a very bad movie. But I know that a lot of people love this, so, you know, feel free to be a dumbass and comment all you want about how I was wrong. But, you know, just make sure you like and subscribe, you know, do all that stuff. You know, I don't want to beg, but it would be kind of nice. You know, you already got, you know, fucking 30 minutes to this video. But yeah, that's about it. I hated that movie. I hated everything about that movie. Maybe I'll watch Suicide Squad later, since that also came out 10 years ago. Maybe if people want to, you know, I'll watch Suicide Squad.